All right. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to build a fully working fast API backend connected to a Postgres database using NeonDB. So basically, NeonDB is a modern serverless Postgres platform. It basically allows you to instantly scale up your Postgres database. It has a pretty good free tier capacity available, like you have a certain number of projects which you can build for free, and it also allows you other features like branches, an automated branching approach, and it has quite a super fast database storage as well. So for developers, the best part about neon db is that it handles the scaling, it handles the storage and performance behind the scenes. And since it's a fully automated Postgres compatible solution, we can connect to it from Python, FastAPI, and also we have other options for connection to NeonDB. So let's jump into it. So NeonDB, basically you can set up your own Neon console using your credentials. It can be your GitHub credentials, your uh, Google login credentials, and so on. So here we are within the Neon console. Once you have logged in, basically you need to go to your auth and configuration. This is where you can actually get your project related information and also your environment variables. This is the most important place to navigate to your environment variables. Once you have your environment variables, this is where you'll be able to set up your database URL. So I'll show this to you now, and now let's move to the Python database file as well as the environment format. So here we have a .env example for the backend connection to the NeonDB. So I've just given you a high level understanding of what the variables will look like. The most important variable here is the database URL, which looks something along these lines, and this goes into your .env file. Now, this is the walkthrough of the db.py. So this is where using fast API and our database connection pool, and we have also defined all the endpoints here with which we'll be able to connect to NeonDB. We can create tables, we can add values, and then we can also view our records. So I have set up 3 4 different sample demonstrable endpoints with which you can actually get the connection to NeonDB, and you can also access your data. So at a high level, we the most important thing here is the database URL that we need to extract from our environment file. This is what will help us to set up the connection to NeonDB. We set up a lifespan manager using FastAPI. This basically initializes the pool where the app starts. It closes the pool safely when the app stops. So basically, it ensures we are not repeatedly opening and closing connections. It's efficient and it's a production ready approach for a database connection. And then you have some classes defined uh, as a part of pydantic for your uh, data formats when you call the api endpoints. So row in, basically when you're trying to add a row, you would need to specify the id, the name, the value. And similarly, row out, you would require the same variables within the row out class. All right. And yeah, let's go to the api endpoints now. So this is all fast api. We have a post endpoint for create table. We have just set up a demo table right now over here, but of course you can perhaps expand this endpoint to create any table of your choice as well, if you need something along those lines. So yeah, it returns you the final status once the table gets created. You have the upsert, which is another post endpoint with which basically if a row with a given id exists, then it gets updated, and if it doesn't exist, then it gets inserted. That's why it's upsert, right? It gets updated or it gets inserted. So that's why we have the on conflict part within the SQL code, right? On conflict, it does the update, else it inserts. So that's the upsert endpoint. And then we have the rows endpoint, which basically just fetches all the rows from the table in a sorted order. You can also pass a limit here, but it's an optional parameter. Otherwise, it'll give up to 100 rows, right? And then you can fetch a single row also with the row ID. So you have row slash row ID. That's another get endpoint. And that's about it. After this, we can run our db.py using uvicon. We also have this option now. So because this is uh, like a proper production level solution that we are trying to achieve here, so you also have a Docker file with which you can try to uh, connect to the same NeonDB database. But right now, I'm just showing this to you in main.py itself. So let's say I've set up the environment file, and now I'm running my db.py. So the uvicon db app is up and running, and let's try to hit these endpoints, some of them perhaps using postman, right? So let's say I just want to add like an id number 3 here, with some value, and that's done. So you've got a 200 response, meaning you were successfully able to do the upsert. As in this operation, we were adding a new id. That means this was an insert operation. You can go ahead and view all the rows that you have. So so you have the rows endpoint. Yeah, so now you see, right, the recently added record of id number 3 rx.ai is added to the database. So it's all done here. This is a very, very simple tutorial of NeonDB connection. Let's also go ahead to the actual Neon console and see where we can see our tables, right? So you can actually view all your tables here. You go to tables, you might have multiple solutions here, right? Like you have multiple branches. So you have a production, a development, whatever is the default one, that's where it gets added. So that's the demo table, and our recently added record is here. You also have a SQL editor where you can just literally you can run any queries you like over here. So yeah, that's basically the overview of NeonDB.